Hi, and good morning to everyone. We have today with us Liam Murray, who is the founder and CEO of BuildApps, a prop tech company based out of Australia. Liam, great to have you here with me today. BuildApps is part of Project Amplify, a program that Microsoft and Accenture have come together in terms of helping startups really leverage their platform with support and help from Microsoft and Accenture. So, Liam, tell us all about BuildApps and why you started BuildApps.
Yeah, my background's not in software and in the Microsoft world. My background is property and giving advice to large property owners, and we're very much in the commercial real estate sector. And the problem that we saw was the data ownership. I'd founded a consultancy 9 years ago where we were trying to give advice, and we couldn't give very good advice because they didn't have access to the data about their own properties which they owned, which made me think, well, maybe they need some help in that department. And yeah, having a kind of engineering background and playing around with software over many years, we kind of started to build out, and organically it turned into its own business. From at the start we started to build apps internally, and then 2.5 years ago we decided to actually break it away from the consultancy and call it its own business. And we thought, what do we do? Oh, we build apps. That's a good name. So, and amazingly, the hyphen's very important to me. I'm very proud of the hyphen, but buildapps.com was available.
No, no, I'm very proud of the hyphen too. In addition to what you're doing at Build Apps, but more seriously, I think having learned what Build Apps does, truly there is terabytes of data that are associated with any large construction project and commercial or residential property. What has been the greatest value that you have brought to your clients? I know you said that they didn't have access to data. How have you, through Build Apps, managed to kind of corral all of this in a manner that is useful to the board of a prop tech company?
Yeah. It's about realizing what is important and what's not. So someone mentioned the term to me, data obesity, and I think it's the perfect phrase in that people think collecting everything is really important to the property sector, whereas we define it as our common data model stores the important information. So people who are finding all the what's going on within the building and the temperature every second of the day, that's not important to the C-suite, to the people who have to make the decision around whether they buy or sell. What's important is how often in a year did it not achieve. So rolling up and aggregating with APIs from externals, and so that you store the key bits of information, and then creating the relationships between those key bits of information. And some of the where you said about the best stories where clients were trying to report on how they were capturing and kind of how they were responding to the SDGs. And as we started to speak to them, they didn't realize they were doing things which were actually having a good impact. So the leasing team were leasing lots of space to not-for-profits and charities, but the sustainability team didn't even know they were doing that. So by having this model where it starts to create links where you didn't know there were links, if you can get cleaners who are using products that are greener products and report on that, there's lots of different links, and it's not always to sustainability. Obviously, my passion is sustainability and asset management, so we've swayed stuff that way, but sometimes it's links between maintenance contracts and marketing, which you'd never think there was a link, but there actually is. This company is very good at branding themselves and they're doing our maintenance. Let's see how we can connect information.
That's really a good phrase. I like that too. After the hyphen, the data obesity, which is all of these data warehouses, data lakes, and when you think of these huge, humongous piece of data, at the end of the day, it's probably 10 pieces of data that's going to tell you is your company doing well or not. Of course, I'm just dumbing it down, but it comes down to that. But more importantly, tell us more about what you're doing in the sustainability space, right? Why is green prop tech, the equivalent of leads, so important for sustainability, and how do they compare to the SDG goals out there?
Yeah. So one of the first things recognized that we needed to protect what we were doing so that someone didn't do it, and we got a patent around using the UN SDGs and how they map to asset data and to rating data. So every single rating scheme in the world is very similar. So whether it's LEED, BREEAM, Green Star, NABE, there's lots of different rating schemes in lots of different regions, but fundamentally they're a tiered system of questions that need answering. And some of those questions are about water things, some questions are about, and each of those can be categorized to how they impact the SDGs. And then we started to expand on that. After that was kind of the first bit of it, and then we started to expand on that and go, well, the assets themselves also link to the SDGs, because if you add water meters or electrical meters, or you change the contract of the cleaner to use more women cleaners, and you start to repeat, you can show how you're responding to the SDGs through lots of different measures. So we started to, where I was talking about this, the spider's web of information, we started to add on top of that the SDG on top of the spider's web, and auto mapping, going, well, I'm doing this, I'm using these people, this product that I'm using. So that's the latest bit that we're kind of unpacking new apps around the products and the embodied energy in the actual products that go into a building, and yeah, the extra step on top of it.
No, that's really good. I think it's very important that that metrics are tracked. What the first part is, are you collecting the right data, and the second part is, are you tracking the right data, right,
Yeah.
and leveraging the data that you have. And so clearly, with what you're doing, you and ensuring that you are meeting the global standards, like you said, whether it's LEEDs or Green Star, extremely important. My next question for you, Liam, is tell us more about Adam and Company. That's an interesting name.
Yeah. So well, I think it's 7 years ago. The first internal app that we built and it was on Access Web Apps, was the original founding of all this, which was predates the Power Platform. And and it was storing asset information and building information. So Adam and all of the family, which you can see up here, the different faces,
Yeah.
we've developed into the Adam is a asset database for monitoring and management. And then as we started to collect more information, we started to realize what were they doing, and we use a baby generator name, and we put in the keywords, and it comes up with a name. So we've got all these quirky characters. Sergey contains all the social, environmental, resilience, governance indices improver.
Mhm.
So like that, and it's become quite powerful in that our clients go, have you told Adam, can you put this into Matt, can you put this into Sergey? And they're almost virtual employees in
Mhm.
their businesses. And
Mhm.
we kind of, and we really play on it's a family of applications, it expands what you're doing, and they're a family, so they're all connected, they all share the same DNA, which is the same common data model behind it.
No, that's fantastic. My last question for you is that you tell us more about your current client base and what are your plans for Build Apps?
Yeah, so we're taking a very interesting route to scaling. Typically, you try and scale as big as you can in your local area, but we're conscious what we're doing is a global platform, and lots of our clients, Cromwell and Lendlease, they own properties all around the world, and so they're very keen on having a global tool and making sure that we're not developing a common data model that just works for the Australian region. So at the minute, we're kind of deploying in 4 regions and trying to find we call them our anchor clients to help us, fine tune the product before we scale aggressively in 2 years' time or 18 months' time. So we're looking at the US, we're in Europe, and in across Asia, and trying to just make sure that we haven't built something that only applies to our region, that it does apply globally, and the little strange things, and hopefully we speak to somebody who owns lots of property in India, and they go, we really love to have a table that stores this, and we go, that's a great idea. We put it into the common data model, and then everyone in the US, Europe, and Australasia gains from it. So it's trying to set a global standard for how you store that information.
Great. So Liam, all the very best in your journey in terms of BuildApps, and thank you for keeping the environment and sustainability as a key goal, both personal and professional. I think it's very important for all of us to recognize that. And as a project, being a part of Project Amplify, we look forward to helping you scale not just in Australia, but across the world, making BuildApps the most relevant platform for property management.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.